Frozen grapes are my favorite snack. But I don't want to take a loan out against my 401k just to buy grapes. Grocery bills are skyrocketing, energy bills are spiking, forcing dads to lock the thermostat like they always do, and playing the Powerball has become the best way to save for a down payment on a home, sadly. Thanks a lot, Jerome. All jokes aside, this is a pretty scary time for everyone, and today I wanted to shine a light on how we got here, but more importantly, what actions you can take personally to weather this financial storm that's brewing on the horizon. My name is Brandon, this is Ponder Crypto, and you are the viewer. Let's dive in. No matter what economy you're talking about, US, Chinese, or the EU, they're all designed around one key principle. Inflation keeps an economy moving. You know what else keeps you moving? Stepping into a bed of fire ants. Now, inflation happens when more currency is created, but inflation is felt when that currency is used to buy a fixed amount of goods. More money chasing the same goods will drive up prices because the total buying power for the economy has increased. Now, believe it or not, there's actually two ways to increase the total supply of currency. The first is when the Federal Reserve prints it out of thin air. Before 1971, every dollar was backed by gold stored in the banks, and your $1 was a claim for $1 worth of gold. But then President Nixon suspended the gold standard, allowing the Federal Reserve to print money whenever they felt needed. Nothing can go wrong with that, right? Now we're 50 years into this suspension, and the total U.S. debt is growing at an incomprehensible rate. The other way inflation occurs is when banks create money through loans. Think about that. If you create money out of thin air, it's called counterfeiting. Now, if an accountant creates money for a company out of thin air, they call that cooking the books. But if a bank creates money out of thin air through a loan, they call that fractional reserve banking, also referred to as legal theft in my book. Simply put, they are stealing the quality and quantity of goods that you can buy with your money. So say you want to go buy a vehicle, but you don't have the cash, so you go and apply for a car loan. The bank does not have to give you $50,000 of money from their deposits that they hold. They create $50,000 in the form of debt out of thin air, adding $50,000 to the total money supply. An asset for them and a debt for you. It's absolutely crazy when you think about it. Now, over the years, banks were required to hold different percentages of reserves relative to the total amount of money that they loaned out. So ranging anywhere from 3 to 17% depending on the size of the bank. However, the Fed announced in 2020 that they decided to lower the reserves down to nothing. They removed it altogether. The goal behind this decision was to help inject money and stimulate the economy. So now banks can create money and loan any amount to anybody as they see fit while they collect billions of dollars in interest. Clown world. Now, before I jump to how you can protect yourself, please hit that like button if you're finding this content interesting. It really does help out the channel and it makes it easier for people to discover our content. So what can you do? How can you navigate a system that is designed from the bottom to benefit those at the top? Well, you have to play the game better than those in power. And in order to do that, you must first understand the rules better than they do. Once you learn the rules and the desired behaviors that the system hopes to generate, you'll start to find ways to put yourselves in more advantageous positions. The objective is to create access to freed capital. This could mean increasing your income, reducing your expenses, or a combination of the two. First, you need to identify your expenses and see where you can cut. Have you acquired too many of those subscription services like Netflix, HBO, or OnlyFans and only find yourself using one of them? Do you spend too much on Grubhub or eating out? Do you like pretending that you're a baller and throw money over a bridge dressed like a 50s mafia boss? Everyone's budget's different, but acquiring unnecessary expenses over time is natural, and now is the time to purge. Next, you should grow your income through diversified means. There's a good chance that many jobs will continue to be cut over the next 6 to 12 months, if not longer. And not only do you want to create income, you want to make sure that you're doing it from not one source. Figure out what you're passionate about, what you like, and work towards creating some kind of revenue from it. You want to create multiple streams of income that will help you navigate a job loss or any economical hardships you face down the road. All right, so you've reduced your expenses, you've increased your income, and now you've got money to put to work. Once you've got capital, the main rule to understand is that you cannot keep it in a currency that's being devalued. Generations ago, our grandparents could live off of a single family income, put maybe 10% away in savings, and have enough squirreled away for retirement when they turn 60. The reality is that is not possible for the average person anymore. You need to convert your dollars, yen, pesos, or whatever government currency that you transact with into an asset that has a fixed supply and a growing demand. Now, there are many options to consider, such as, real estate, stocks, precious metals, but by far the best asset to invest in for wealth preservation. This is not financial advice and only my opinion. You should exercise proper due diligence beyond listening to a guy holding up a fake mustache on YouTube. Is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the first fully decentralized digital asset with a fixed cap of 21 million units and a deflationary hard-coded monetary policy. In simple terms, there's never going to be more than 21 million Bitcoin ever created, and there is no government, no company, or no central entity that can change that fact. We're still in the early days of this new asset class, and Bitcoin adoption is on pace to reach 1 billion users faster than the internet did. Be sure to check the pinned comment below for a couple book recommendations if you'd like to learn more about the pros and cons of Bitcoin. So there you have it. Go lean, earn some green. Reduce your expenses, create multiple streams of income, and invest outside of the inflationary system to high demand deflationary assets. Ponder Crypto releases a weekly newsletter, so if you want to stay ahead of the curve and receive weekly updates on crypto news, market analysis, and opinion pieces with silly memes sprinkled on top, make sure to visit pondercrypto.com and subscribe for free today. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and ponder with optimistic caution.